Hello guys, welcome to another vid, and for today's vid is going to be part 2 out of part 3 of the final vid, as I promised. So for this vid, as we remembered, I promised that today, actually I sadly failed my promise for yesterday because I had to go somewhere just like every other Saturday, and I laughed so hard at one time because the capacity was full, so we had to go somewhere else a little far away from our home. But let's not get out of topic here, shall we? So before I start the vid, I want you to like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And once we're ready, we could get started with the video. So let's get started, and here we come. Okay guys, so we are here at what we are going to start with for the project that I've been working for 2 weeks now. And wait, it's white? Let me go head back. Why is it frozen? Oh. There must have been a malfunction, probably due to the app I've been using. Sorry for a little interruption. Okay, so sadly, since I cannot show you what I wrote, check background power use. Nothing to. Okay, so sorry about the interruptions. I'm so sorry. So, as I was saying, since I can't show you what I wrote, I'm gonna have to, while I'm playing Geometry Dash, I'm probably gonna have to tell you about how everything, about what I wrote in it, okay? So now let's get started. Okay, so this is what I wrote. First, before COVID started, a basketball star named Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash with one of his daughters. Old one, if I'm correct. If you know Kobe Bryant, he was a legend, correct? Correct. And also, so one day, it was a very windy day on the day of the crash. Him and his daughter was going to see a basketball game, if I'm correct. No idea. It's been a while since I've talked about him, you know. And also, everybody knows that he's very important. So everybody's probably gonna be missing him. Like when I first heard the news, my aunt was crying, and for a minute I thought it was my baby cousin, but then I was like, who is that? Who's that? And then I later learned more about him. And then after that, probably a few days later, the news said that there was a virus named the coronavirus, aka COVID-19, has came out, and that it was a very dangerous virus, and for a few months it has been spreading worldwide, starting from China to around those areas to you name it. I didn't keep count on which places it continued to go on. Later went around Maryland and and New York, which is probably one of the places with the most COVIDs because of their train stations and stuff. And also after that, schools were closed and we were all stuck into quarantine. It was hard for some students because one, some of those students could have no internet, which means they cannot educate in online school, which means that they had to go ask for some help or something, you know. And free, because of this may be a great threat or a great problem within all of this. So we should probably be careful about outside and other stuff. Then after that, after a few months, after maybe around 1 or 2 months after quarantine, a black person named George Floyd died by a cop. Which later caused it, you know, those, no idea what they're called, which literally just caused it a ton of things to happen, including a song that DaBaby and Roddy Ricch made. Song's name is Rockstar. Name of it will be in the no, you know what I mean. The description below the vid, and I'll write in the name under the name of the song. It's called Rockstar by DaBaby, you know, DaBaby, featuring Roddy Ricch. There's 2 versions of it. The original one curses, and the other one is a clean version for the Black Lives Matter, which is the original one for Black Lives Matter. If I were you, go check it out. Have to admit, it is good, especially with that ending, you know, about, you know. Well, enough about that. Let's continue. So after that entire incident, it continued getting worse, you know. Millions of people are now are continuing to get COVID, and lots of stuff have been happening. But that's not all. So probably around the end of so now if we go all the way around at the end of summer, we now found out that the actor of the Black Panther has died. Okay, where was I? Let's see, talking about the actor of Black Panther. So yeah, the actor of Black Panther died to stage 4 colon cancer, but was first diagnosed to stage 3 colon cancer. Saddest thing that some people have, like lots of people have been like doing that Wakanda Forever, especially. And if you watch and there's probably a Fortnite short about something in the battle bus, you know. And I think part 18 of that is actually where, like, you know, that Wakanda Forever thing. So watch that one. I won't write that one in the description because I actually just, you know, I don't use a computer to you know. So let's just hope that that once the vaccine, and as we already know, before his death, also I think I skipped something, did I? Oh yes, I did. So, as we know, before his death, I think 2 months ago, it was revealed that I think that a vaccine was created, and 30K people 30K people or 30,000 people are going to be tested on the vaccine. If it works, then they're safe. But if it doesn't, they already got it a cure if the vaccine doesn't work. And I think that should be all we should talk about, but there's one more thing that we should talk about. Okay? So, here are some things that we could do to protect ourselves from COVID-19. 1. We could wear a mask. 2. We could stay 6 feet from other people when nearby an army of people or when going outside. And more. Like for example, we have a friend who's eating outside, correct? And they're eating inside a restaurant. Pretend that's true. That's an example, And somebody says that when there's somebody nearby, wear a mask. But the guy doesn't listen. And do you know what happened to him? And then he was later diagnosed with or confirmed positive with COVID-19. He should have. So what was something he should have done? 1, he should have wore his mask. He should have wore his mask when some random person was talking to him, even if the other person was not wearing a mask. Which meant that the guy that he talked to would have had COVID, and he's giving lots of other people COVID, which means that it could end up with that restaurant or something being closed due to something not being safety, So that's why we need to be careful. Like, COVID is everywhere. We don't know when it's going to strike or when we realize that we have COVID, before it's too late. And when I say too late, I mean like if we sadly just, if we just if we don't realize what these actually are, then we would later find out and it will be too late. Maybe for example, I heard that once it's a true story. So once somewhere there was a prom going on and a girl had COVID and she was dancing with her boyfriend and he got COVID and coughed on something that somebody else touched, and then every kid around there got it COVID. So obviously we probably know what was going to happen to them, right? Correct. End of story for them. Because, because there's no way to survive COVID. Well, there is. I'm just saying that it's kind of a little impossible. Actually, maybe a 50-50 chance of surviving or not surviving, Just hope that you're keeping yourself safe so you could be safe, because you know that COVID may get you one day. Especially those people who just don't care about their safety and are in depression. They're usually, as we already know, sometimes depression usually leads to suicide. And once that suicide happens, there's no way of turning back. Also, that usually means that you're just going to, HE2 hockey sticks. Don't say it. So usually that's, if you try killing yourself, that's usually where you would end up to. But mostly people just want the pain in the real world to be over. So they just want to pass on. There was a vid where somebody named Sadwary didn't want to live anymore. You probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna write it in the comments. So, and Sadwary tried to end himself, but for some reason, a truck full of pillows in the back, he landed on him, surprisingly. So also, and also he tried again, like putting gas in the car, but then he failed to. And something that I am not going to say happened because it was just too not for kids, okay? Not for kids. And then he tried to, like, I think, do something, I think, yeah, that. And then, like, after that, the only thing he got himself was into the hospital. And then that little Jason from that horror movie came into a hospital and then, like, started killing. And then he saw Sad Larry, and then he said, like, please do it. And then he was like, nope. And then he just kept crying while the murder just kept killing. You know? Yeah. True story. True story. Actually, it's not a true story. It was just from a random animated video, which I will not say because this is going to probably be for 18 or older. Okay? Good. So, yeah. But usually, kids are just usually watching things they're not supposed to be watching. And when they realize what they've been watching since they're little, they realize that they just can't get it out of their mind now. Especially those homophobes. Wait, what? You heard nothing, kids. Okay, so we already talked about, I think we already talked about everything that we needed to hear today. So get ready. Part 3 will be coming soon. And if I were you, do not mess up your future, okay? Your health and future is your health. Your health and your studies are more important than any other distractions, except for family. Family is the most important, unless you hate them so much, which is something that usually happens with some families, you know? So if you have any questions, write them in the comments, please. Even though I bet you won't write them, because one, I literally know that, like, nobody writes anything in the comments. And I know that since you won't, there's probably, I have no reason why I'm even asking you to ask a question, you know? Like, there's nothing interesting in the comments, you know? So thank you for watching this vid. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. And get ready, the final episode, the final vid is coming later.